Hi, Nadeem here from Smart Writing Gadgets. I'm wanting to talk today about using these displays for multimedia use for your music, listen to books and everything else. It's an area that doesn't really get covered a lot by most reviews, and I thought it's worth doing because for me it's one of the most important things when I'm riding. I do like to listen to some of my books, sometimes on longer rides, and I like to listen to my music. And the smart display, the Carpuride W702BS that I've got, just makes that so much easier, even on the move. Now, in the good old days before the smart displays came in, you would start a playlist or something on your phone. It's hooked up to your comm system, you'd get it going, and off you'd go. Now, what that meant was you had absolutely zero control over the music or anything else. You know, you couldn't do anything unless you stopped, pulled out your phone, or in some of the comm systems, maybe you can forward the track or go backwards or something and have adjust volume, but that was about as much control as you had. Now with the 702BS, if you're on a GS 1200, 1250, 1300 with the wonderwheel control as well, it just makes life so much easier. You know, you can do this on the move, you can do it, wherever you as you're riding. It doesn't make any difference. See, like here, like at the moment, I mean, I'm stationary, but I'm going to scroll through to my playlist, and I can just choose a playlist, just to tilt the wheel, and let's do shuffle, and it's now playing my Dire Straits playlist. And it'll play in my ear, and I can do this on the move. I can do it stationary. However, whatever makes you comfortable, you can do it. But honestly, on the move, it's not a major thing because you're not having to fiddle around too much to do it. And once you're used to the system, it's quite easy to do. Yeah, so that's playing in my ear as I'm riding along here. On the move, it's very, very easy to use. And I'm using CarPlay, so I can use Siri as well to issue commands. Now, the way that I do, I've got the GSX10 unit, and I find it's easier and more accurate if I just press and hold the button like so. Hey Siri, play rowing playlist. So there, it's changed over to my rowing playlist, which as it sounds, it's one of my exercise playlists, but I can change over like that just by pressing the button and letting Siri do it for me. So there's a lot of things you can do that make your life a lot easier, and you'll be a hell of a lot more entertained on the move. So let's say I want to go to Audible and play one of my books. So I'll do the same again. I'll just hold the button down. Hey Siri, open Audible. So there it is. It's opened up Audible for me. Now I can just go through the menu and choose one of the books. So I've been listening to Terry Pratchett, Guards. I've read the book umpteen times and I've listened to it 3 or 4 times, but I enjoy listening to something like this, especially as I don't need to concentrate too much because I've read it so many times, and it's nice to just zone in and out as I'm riding. There's Waze giving me a warning about a pothole. Right, so let's get it back to the book, open the book, and there we go. It started playing Terry Pratchett, Guards. Now, in terms of multimedia, it just doesn't get any better than this, And if you've got a GS, like I said, you've got the wonderwheel, and it's just amazing what you can do with that with the 702BS. Generally, I like to keep it in the split view like this, so I can see the maps and I can see what I'm listening to, and there's a search bar up there. But obviously I don't tend to start searching for things on the move like this, but this is cool to have it in this view. And the 7-inch display is really good for this because it's nice and big, everything is cool. And by the way, when Waze or gives you any kind of warning, any audible warning, it stops the audible, it stops the book just for a split second and then picks up again whenever there's any kind of warning. There's a load of folk out there that don't like listening to music or don't want anything like that, like books or whatever. or be listening to the radio or anything. They don't want that at all. Then there's a whole load of people like me that do want it. So, I mean, to me, music and books are very important in my life. So I want to be able to use that when I'm writing. If you were on the fence about this, thinking, well, you know, I need something that I want to listen to music and stuff, not just play my maps and stuff, then the 702BS, if you have a GS or a S1000XR or whichever other bikes are compatible with this unit, with the wonderwheel, then you're going to love this. You just will. You know, it just makes life so much easier. You know, you can change this on the go. You can use Siri to control it. If you're an Android Auto, you know, you can control it as well. So it's just makes life a hell of a lot more enjoyable for me. So if that's one of the things that's important to you, then get the 702BS. You're going to be very happy with it. There is a discount code in the description. It'll give you 30% off. It's just smart riding, all one word. Just enter it at checkout, carpuride.com. And if it isn't, of course, yes, you can always just listen to the sounds of your engine, which is nice to hear sometimes as well.